In your wanderings, you stumble upon a ruined temple buried deep within the heart of the forest. Wary, you continue on through thick overgrowth until you see a clearing that was once an ancient cathedral built by people, now rebuilt by nature itself. In the center is a preserved altar, stacked with various dice of all shapes and colors. As you contemplate what this means, a cloaked figure approaches from the shadows.
Welcome, brave adventurer. Have you come to roll the dice? Explore strange new worlds with new strange rules? If you seek adventure worthy of being shared with good friends, you have come to the right place. Just roll for initiative.
Welcome to the Nat One Nerds podcast.
Welcome to the table, everyone.
Hey guys, welcome back to Nat One Nerds podcast, and we're back for our Christmas special.
Yeah, we may be on a formal break, but it's the most wonderful time of the year, and because D&D is also such a wonderful game, we obviously have to play it during this time of the year.
So we have a few guests with us as well for this special episode. Would you guys like to introduce yourselves?
Yes, so Rosemary PG Studios is here. I'm Sierra Gatrell, and Emily.
I'm here also. It's really awesome. We're super happy to be here back with the Nat One Nerds. Also, fun thing, I've got my fiance here. Kobe, you wanna?
Hello, that's me. I'm Kobe Ross. I play D&D, and I got invited to play D&D, so I'm here.
And then everybody on the podcast already knows me. I'm Parker's wife, Savannah. Coming in for another one shot.
Yeah, we invited Rosemary PG Studios to be on. We have such a fun time guest starring on their D&D campaign that they got going on their YouTube channel, which you also go check out. It's a lot of fun. It's a great story. Emily actually DMs, so I'm sure she's excited to be a player and not have to worry about too much and just literally just roll with whatever her dice go with.
Actually, 100%. I'm so down to be a player.
All right, so yeah, we got a special Christmas holiday themed D&D one-shot for you guys with a little bit of a twist. We are introducing a particular mechanic that both me and Brandon, and honestly also Savannah, really enjoyed from the One Ring. It's the Hope Shadow, so if you've heard those episodes, you kind of know what's going on with there. But just so you guys know, since we're translating it into D&D, and not only into D&D, but a special themed one-shot, essentially what it's going to be is that instead of hope, it's going to be Christmas spirit. Everybody's got an extra 3d6 dice that they can use for whatever they want, but they will also be making occasional saving throws to make sure that they don't lose that Christmas spirit and end up like a Scrooge. So, and if they have too much of that and lose too much spirit, then there will be a mechanical consequence. Does everybody want to quickly state their character name, race, and class, maybe, just so people can be able to make that connection while listening?
Sure, I can start. This is Brandon. My character is named Furball. He is a bugbear ranger who is in town looking for some contract work because he is currently a little bit out of work.
This is Kobe, and I'll be playing Ray Leland, a Loxodon warlock who has some things that he wishes that he could forget. In the town that he comes from, a lot of the village kids call him Grampus.
This is Emily. I'm going to be playing Mary Cariah, a human bard who, honestly, most of her hits always happen in the winter time, and then she'll go away for all the other seasons to go hang out on vacation, and she'll come back and to her local town and start singing up again.
I'm playing Martha June, an Asamair paladin. She's all about having cheerfulness and people can be better and all of that good stuff, and she's in town just to help people during the season that they get all these fun gifts. She wants some gifts.
And then my character is a half-elf bard named Jolly Jingleberry, and she's lived in the town her whole life, and so she's kind of involved in what's going on.
And I'm the DM. I just play everybody else.
It's a very charismatic party.
It is a very charismatic party. So this will be very interesting. I think without further ado, we'll go ahead and launch into our special D&D one-shot here. So the setting takes place in a town called Autumn's Refuge. Autumn's Refuge enjoys modest weather all year round. Springs are cozy, summers are pleasant, falls are a delightful brisk, and winters are a festive chill. It has become a huge vacation tourist location, with many nobles and ladies having second homes there, popular for wedding destinations, popular vacation spots for really any occasion at any time of the year, because you will guarantee have amazing weather. However, as this year's Yule time approaches, the weather is turning harsh and cold and becoming frightfully chilly, causing many of the denizens to worry. Now, despite these worries, Yuletime in Autumn's Refuge and in many of the surrounding towns and villages in the area region also receive specialized little gifts, little trinkets, little toys, stuff of that nature, from a mysterious benefactor from a little hamlet way up high on the mountain slope called Delectation. However, nobody knows who dwells in Delectation. They don't know the reason for the gift giving, the motivations behind it. All they know is that they receive it, so there are many theories and beliefs regarding that. So our characters, whether they live here or whether they are vacationing here for the Yuletime season, have come to enjoy the celebrations of the season as they head into the town center. Now, the town center of Autumn's Refuge surrounds one particular building, Town Hall, where dwells the mayor. And all around the square, there are shops ablaze with lights and advertisements, lots of carts and stalls set up in the town center itself in the square, trying to sell candies, their own trinkets, potions, all kinds of things that you can imagine. There is also one of the more popular inns. It's a modest inn, not too expensive, not too poor. In that inn is a tavern on the lower level. It's a 2-story building. And all of you find yourself in this tavern enjoying some hot cocoa, some warm ale, whatever it is that is helping you get into the mood. What are you all doing in the tavern?
Leland, for his part, is poring over a tome that he has on the table in front of him, and arranged around it are 4 or 5 empty mugs from the cocoa that he has been sipping his way through. No food is on the table, but it seems like he's been here for potentially a couple hours.
And as you sit there, a barmaid comes up to you and asks if you would like further drink.
Well, I'm not quite finished with this one. Maybe in a few more minutes.
She nods, and she continues to serve other patrons in the tavern.
And in another corner, you find Jolly with a group of kids, and you can see her shooting little fireworks out of her hand into the middle of the group of the kids.
Okay.
Just making them laugh and stuff.
I'm going to say Furball is sitting at the bar looking through some help wanted ads. He's currently not satisfied with his job due to some recent changes, so he's trying to find something but not having much luck.
Would you like something to drink, sir?
You got any coffee?
Yeah, we have some. Let me get you some real quick.
No sugar, no cream, or any of that stuff. It just weighs you down.
Just straight black, then.
Yeah.
So she goes ahead and makes you some black coffee and puts in front of you a very plain cup with a very plain dark brown liquid in it.
He's just going to take it and take a sip and kind of scrunch his nose at it and set it back down and keep looking.
I was gonna go over and watch the fireworks. I'm gonna sit down with the kids. I have this giant glaive that's like balanced against my shoulder, and I'm just filled with awe as they're going around.
So as you're entertaining these kids, which, by the way, I'm going to have you roll a performance check.
That's a 22.
All right. You have these kids absolutely enthralled, and you're not only... You're doing so well that you've also enthralled the attention of an adult woman who has come and sat in the middle of the children, also gleefully watching your little performance with your spell work.
Furball's going to be warily watching the kids, seeing if there's any gnomes meandering around with them.
Go ahead and roll a perception check, man.
24.
There are no gnome children, but however, right near the performance there does seem to be a female gnome that appears to be the nanny to two of the children.
Furball's going to make sure to have the paper raised high enough that she can't see him.
Okay.
I think at this point, Mary is going to come walking into the tavern, bundled up in a big cloak with like lots of fur and everything. Obviously, very shivering from the cold outside. And she's going to walk over over to the table that has Ray in it, and she'll turn to him and say, "Excuse me, is this seat taken? May I join you?"
More rackets. Well, yes, you may.
Much appreciated. It's bitter cold outside.
Strange, isn't it?
Very strange. But it looks like a lot of people are having a bit of fun in here as well.
Yeah, people definitely seem to be taking literal refuge in this tavern, just trying to keep the Yuletime spirits high and thriving. As you guys continue to sit in the tavern, people continue to come in. It's getting a little busier and busier as people are trying to find shelter from the wind, because it's going outside. It's not a blizzard, but it's something that most of the denizens of Autumn's Refuge would almost think is a blizzard if they haven't really traveled too much outside of the area, because it's just something they're not used to at all. And each time the door opens, it almost like swings open, almost like slamming open as people come in, and then they kind of turn around and try to push the door back and kind of relatch it. As you guys are sitting around, the fire starts to kind of die, and one of the barmaid comes over and she tries to throw some logs on, but being impatient, she sticks out her hand and she makes these motions with it, but nothing's happening. For those of you who are proficient, you may roll an Arcana check if you so wish to see what she might be trying to do.
I rolled a 7. Leland is not paying attention well enough to see what's happening here.
No, he's talking to the girl across him.
It's definitely kind of odd. You're not sure what she's doing, and she actually seems really a mixture of bewilderment, puzzled, and frustrated. And after a while, she kind of just hoofs back over to the bar to do something else to distract her from that.
Could I wave her over to the table?
Yeah, absolutely. And as you wave, she notices and she comes over and she says, "What can I do for you?"
Yes, I was hoping to get a mug of cocoa like my acquaintance here, as I see that he is down to quite a few. May I get one of those? Also, I'm a little curious, is the fire not starting, or?
Oh, I'm sure it'll catch here soon enough. I was just trying to get it to go a little faster. It is cold, and not very many people have the gear necessary to stay outside, if you will.
Absolutely, it is a bitter cold outside. I just barely came in myself. But hopefully it gets started. I wish I could be of help for that, but I'm afraid I don't know any fire songs.
I might be able to assist. I must repay you for your hospitality. Thank you for allowing me to stay for as long as I have here. And Leland will stand and move over towards the fire and try and use control flames to make the fire bigger.
All right, perfect. I'm going to have you roll a percentile.
91.
91. Oh, all right. Yeah, you have no problem getting the fire blazing again.
And with a short gesture, like, you're welcome kind of thing, he will return and begin gathering his mugs. He gets one in each hand, one in his trunk, and then another with mage hand, if he can cast it.
Yeah, go and roll a percentile.
95.
You have no problem. No problem whatsoever casting Mage Hand. And she's profusely thanking you. And as you're helping her with this, she turns to Mary and states, "And you said you wanted some cocoa."
Yes, please, if it wouldn't be too much of an imposition.
I will do what I can. I've spent 2,000 years perfecting the recipe just right.
Well, then I eagerly await to taste this.
And hopefully I will be able to stick to my perfected method of making it. However, and she sticks out her hand and she tries to, looks like she's trying to do something with it. Nothing happens. And she looks even like she's trying to be cheerful and festive, but it's like quickly waning as she's attempting to do something. And she just closes her hand and she's like, I'm sorry, never mind. I will do what I can to make some cocoa for you. And she quickly leaves away, very flustered.
Oh, well, I hope everything's all right with her. Mary's going to gesture towards the Loxodon across from her and say, "And what was your name, sir?"
I am Ray Leland. You can call me Leland. Mr. Leland was my father, but Ray reminds me of my younger years. In a bad way.
Oh. So, don't worry, I won't pry. We'll just, well, never mind that. My name's Mary.
Well met.
Yes, I do like to come to this town in the winter, come sing a little bit. I don't know if you've heard of me a little bit. I do love the stage.
I must admit that I have not, but I am not a stage goer.
That's all quite all right. What brings you to this city?
Well, a journey, a search, research, you might call it.
Research on what?
Oh, this and that. He kind of like gestures with his book. Just whatever strikes my fancy.
May I ask what you're currently researching?
How she made this cocoa so good. She was not exaggerating when she said that she had perfected this recipe.
Well, then I'm getting even more excited to taste this cocoa. It seems like you've had quite a lot of it already.
A few.
Understandable. Do you know what's going on with the light show over there?
You'd have to ask them.
Ah, I see. Well, maybe after I warm up a bit with a little bit of cocoa, I'll head on over.
And honestly, within a few seconds of you saying that, she brings over what appears to be a steaming mug of hot cocoa.
Speak of the devil. There we go.
And she puts it in front of you and she says, did the best I could. And just kind of gives you a half bow and then walks away.
As Mary says, like, "Oh, speak of the devil," Leland, almost kind of like under his breath, he finishes the phrase like, "And he will come."
She kind of seems like a little more like shocked a little bit by the barmaid and how like flustered she seems. And then when she hears that, she kind of whips over. She's like, "Okay," purses her lips a little bit. But then she'll take a sip of the cocoa, and I'm assuming it's amazing.
It's all right.
It's all right.
Yeah, it's actually, for all the praise that your Loxodon companion here was saying, you're kind of almost disappointed a little bit. Like, it's not bad at all. Like, it still warms you. It's still very welcoming for sure, but it's almost like it tastes like from like a pre-made package almost. Like, it's just not quite there.
Should pull out the Swiss Miss.
Yeah. Okay. She takes a sip. She goes, "I'm not sure this is all it's cracked up to be, but it is still very warming."
Well, that maybe you got something different than I got, because it was delicious. But maybe it has something to do with her struggling when she was whatever she was struggling with. I wasn't paying that close attention. I'm sorry.
I mean, no problem. No worries. I mean, if you wanted to try it, you're more than welcome for your research.
His trunk like snakes over, and he gets a little sip. That is quite different. I wonder what the problem is.
Yeah. But I guess we won't know unless you finish your research.
So as you guys continue to discuss the mystery behind why his hot cocoa was so good and yours is all right, Jolly, I need you to make a percentile.
88.
All right. Yeah, you continue to daze the children and this strange woman as well. So
Martha, as she's watching all the magic happen and is wooing and eyeing, she's gonna just kind of like scooch over closer to Jingleberry. She doesn't know who she is yet, but still like scooch over a little closer and then like lean in, and she's like, "How are you doing that? What is it?"
Don't distract the kids. And she'll shoot him. She'll be like, "I never tell my secrets."
Oh, my bad.
And she'll like wink. She'll like wink.
Wink back. Very, very obviously, she's like, so scooch is a little further away.
And as you guys are talking, it looks like what may be the tavern owner, the innkeeper, passes right by you guys, because I imagine you guys are chilling near the fireplace, dazzling the children, and he starts to hang up some stockings up on the fireplace.
Martha's actually going to get up to talk to this guy. What are the stockings for? Can anyone hang up a stocking? Is it when you get off your foot?
He kind of looks a little surprised, and he turns to you. Are you not from around these parts?
No. I came because I hear people get presents.
Yes, you heard correctly. That's what these stockings are for. I'm not entirely sure why stockings per se. I just, ever since I was a little kid growing up in Autumn's Refuge, we hung up stockings, and Yule morning we woke up with little toys and trinkets in there, and our parents denied ever putting anything in there, and nobody's ever claimed to put them in there, so there's a mysterious benefactor that provides toys and trinkets.
So cool. So, any sock works? Doesn't have to be like my sock?
He kind of thinks about it for a minute. I'd like to be optimistic and say that whatever you are able to provide, that perhaps trinkets and stockings it'll be filled with those by tomorrow morning.
Oh, that's so cool. Thank you. I'm gonna go back to where the magical stuff is happening. Scooch over and be like, do you have an extra sock?
A sock? You mean a stocking?
Are they not socks?
They look like socks, don't they?
Do you have an extra one?
And she'll actually like dig through her bag because she's lived in this town, so she knows the tradition. So she'll pull out an extra one, and it's just kind of plain. There's nothing special about it. And she'll be like, I have this one.
I'll pay you a gold coin for it.
Oh, you can just have it. I've been carrying that around for a long time in case somebody needed a stocking.
Aw, you're so nice. Thank you. I'm Martha June, by the way.
I'm Jolly. Nice to meet you.
Jolly. That's such a cute name. I'm gonna go back to the guy who's hanging up stockings and be like, can you hang mine up?
Yes, I suppose I could hang it by the fireplace. You're also welcome to hang it outside of your door if you're staying in the inn.
Oh. Okay, I'll hold on to it then. I should go put it in her bag.
He's like, there are hooks on the door already built in.
That's what that was for?
And he nods.
You guys got it all planned. I love it. She's gonna just go back to watching the magic.
He smiles. He's pretty happy that one of his customers is really ecstatic about Yule tomorrow morning. So, and he finishes hanging up his stockings, and he goes back. He goes back to the kitchen area.
So after a little while longer of like the fireworks, so Jolly will eventually stop, and she'll pull out her lute and start playing some like Yule carols that like the kids would know, so that they can sing along.
Oh, very cool. Roll a performance check.
That is a 21.
You provide a excellent performance as always, Jolly. And as you start to sing, all the kids are like clapping and they're like singing along, and it definitely seems to be brightening up the mood in the room. Even the barmaid seems to like kind of start going along to the song a little bit, knowing it very well. Always seems to be sad when she's like making more cocoa that she has a little burner that she's been trying to use, which the burner looks quite old. Doesn't look like it's used that often, surprisingly.
Mary will turn to Leland and be like, I see that there's another beautiful voice in town.
Will you be joining in then?
Oh no, everybody needs a time to be in the spotlight, and, Bard code, you don't upstage someone else.
I'm not a bard myself. I didn't know the code. I should write that one down.
Gotta add it to the research.
He like jots down a note in his book, just like kind of in the margins, and as he turns more pages, like you can't spot that note again. It just seems to like vanish into the pages of this book.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
So as you're thinking to yourself, oh, that's pretty cool. Jolly, as you're performing, you do notice across the way, you see a human and a Loxodon sitting together, and you recognize the human as Mary Cariah.
And to herself, Jolly will kind of roll her eyes, just knowing, kind of like, obviously knowing Mary's character a little bit of like, oh, the spotlight. And she's just going to keep singing and just wait and see what Mary does, if she comes over or what she does, just to see. But she's going to keep singing and like keep her composure for the kids.
I'm actually going to have you re-roll that performance check, see if you...
That's a 15.
You start to flounder just a little bit, but not to the point where people are upset or anything like that. They kind of notice, but it's something that it's like, it's forgivable. Yeah. Like, it's the mood is too bright. the hearth is too warm. Like, it's whatever. Like, they kind of stop for a minute and they kind of just sit there and watch you, and then as you kind of pick back up again, they kind of go back to nodding and singing along to.
It's like a performance where a trained ear can tell that something was off, but normal people who care.
Yeah, maybe something like that for sure.
Does Mary notice that she looked over and then, like, the falter in the notes?
I will give you... I'll ask a perception check, but with advantage, since this is also your arena, if you will.
That is an 18.
You think you hear a couple notes go off. You're not terribly paying attention because you're still like, oh, that's such a cool book. And you kind of look up, but by the time you look back up, like, Jolly's no longer doesn't look at you or anything. Like, she almost looks like she's like staring either intently at somebody else in the crowd or like looking at the far back, like anywhere but where you are. You do notice that, but as far as the music, you thought you heard a couple notes off, but even for your trained ear, it wasn't anything too atrocious.
Mary will just think to herself of like, oh, I hope my gaze didn't offend her at all.
I mean, yeah, she might not recognize me at this point. She might not have figured out who it is yet.
Is anybody doing anything else for the evening? If not, we'll go ahead and retire and wake up on Yule morning.
The only thing Martha she'd hang up her stocking, her newfound stocking.
Yeah. And honestly, as you guys are either staying in the inn, which I believe all of you are, except Jolly, as far as I'm aware, Jolly goes home, but everybody else at the end, there's actually a stocking provided already on the bed. If Martha wants to stay up too, she could see what happens.
It hangs up too.
But you all have a stocking. You're welcome to do it. Hang it up if you will.
Could Leland, could he spot this door that has the 2 stockings on it and then take his and just add it?
You're welcome to do so if you wish, yes.
Because he doesn't care about it. He's like, whatever. And so he's like, well, they seem to be excited. And hangs it on the door.
All right, Martha, you have 3 stockings on your door. The hook is looking like it's like bulging, like it's almost like it's no longer flat. It's starting to like kind of tilt as it's trying to hook onto one spot, but like the stockings are thick enough that it's like causing a slope. Yeah. You got a green one, you got a red one, and now you have a white one.
Oh, cool. So she wouldn't see this at first because she like hung it up when inside. But then she probably came out for some reason. Maybe had to get a warm cup of milk. Sounds logical. She went out, sees the stockings, and she's like, oh, it's begun.
It's already working.
Furball is going to wait until the coast is clear, and then he's going to tentatively pull a hand-woven fur stocking out of his pack and hang it on his door and pop back in his room real quick.
All right. So you all retire for the night, and you wake up on Yule morning. And as you all open your doors, your stockings are empty.
So sad. Martha looks a little sad at first, and then she's like, although I did get a 3rd one. That was it.
Mary is going to be a little bummed when she sees that. But then she's going to actually go back into her room, just get ready for the day. You know, her full shebang getting ready. She also puts on the hat that she's wearing is red and white, you know, as she's trying to put on the more festive colors of Yule Day.
So as you guys continue to get ready for the morning, you all eventually make your way downstairs. I'll say that you guys happen to roughly kind of come down roughly around the same time, within maybe like a minute and a half of each other. And as you guys are walking downstairs, there's some commotion in the tavern, with the door open, with people coming in and out quickly, like whispering, gossiping, and then like kind of running out. For those who have been to Autumn's Rest before, or even just this general area where Yule is celebrated in a similar fashion as this, it's very unusual already.
And that makes 3 unusual occurrences. Well, the plural of coincidence is fate, they say.
Yeah, this doesn't seem well. We might need to figure out what's going on with this. And I mean, I probably wasn't the only one that was bummed about the stockings not being full this morning.
And you guys see the door to the tavern open, and Jolly just walks in with her head like just hanging down, and she just will plump at the table
Yes, Jolly amongst
with like her head on the table.
compared to everybody else, Jolly seems the most bummed and whatnot. I will have you all go ahead and make a wisdom saving throw.
That is a 20 total.
Okay.
That's a 16 for me.
2.
And 2.
13 over here.
I also got a dirty 20.
Dirty 20, and then Brandon, what'd you get?
13.
13? Okay. So everybody is bummed. The Yuletime spirit is kind of on a low for everybody, for sure. But Martha, it really kind of hits you because you realize that maybe the other stocking wasn't supposed to necessarily be there. It just kind of got thrown there for whatever reason. And so you do take a humbug.
This realization sinks in, and she like holds her glaive a little closer. And it's just like,
I love how this glaive is like a teddy bear. I love it so much.
She'll see Jingle. Well, was it Jingleberry or Jolly?
Yeah, Jolly is her first name.
Oh, okay, the last name is Jingleberry. Okay. So she sees Jolly and she goes over with her glaive and is like, Jolly, are you okay?
And you just hear like sobbing. I've never had an empty stocking on Christmas before. I've been a good person this year, and there's nothing in it. It's empty.
Oh. She's gonna give Jolly a hug. And like, I didn't get any either. It's okay.
And you just hear, what?
Okay, I was gonna say, can Mary attempt to lighten the mood or like try and help people get back in the Christmas spirit a bit more by singing and pulling out her lute and singing?
Absolutely, roll a performance check.
Okay, because pretty much she's next to Leland right now. And she hears like this poor soul just like so upset over this, hearing everyone just upset, and she's like, okay, we need to bring back some of that Christmas spirit. And so she is going to roll. That is a 24. For her performance.
And you pull out your lute, and you are able to definitely lighten the mood a bit. Now, people, unlike Jolly's performance last night, nobody's really singing along or bobbing, but people have a look of at least appreciation for your efforts. And it definitely, even Jolly and Martha, I would imagine, would at least stop crying. Like, still very sad, maybe a little teary still, but they are no longer wailing because you do kind of bring back that Yuletime spirit.
Did people bring their stockings down with them?
Yeah, so some people have just empty stockings in their hand, just kind of shaking it, like asking, like, what's going on? And all these different whispers of essentially nobody got anything in their stocking. It's not just people in the end; it's pretty much the whole town, it seems, almost. And as you guys continue to kind of ponder what's going on, a gnome comes in and says to everybody in the tavern, "The mayor is speaking! The mayor is speaking!" and he like rushes back outside. And people begin to file out of the inn toward the town center and town hall.
The follows.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I'm following.
We're all going along.
As everyone's walking out of the inn, seeing her reaction, Furball is going to dig through his pack and kind of with a sigh, he's going to pull out this set of like hand-carved bone dice that he's made. And he's going to try to slip it in to Jolly's stocking as she's walking out without her looking.
Okay.
Would Jolly have hers?
I don't know. Would Jolly have hers?
No, I think Jolly would have left hers at home because it was empty. She came to the tavern.
Then I'll see that she doesn't have it. And can I remember which one was hers? I assume it would have been pretty characteristic of her, knowing Jolly.
So Jolly did not have a stocking in the inn because she lives in Autumn's Refuge as an actual denizen citizen.
Okay, that makes sense then.
Yeah, so Jolly didn't sleep at the inn.
However, I will point out that since Martha had 3 stockings on her door, there's a decent chance that she might have at least one in her hand. Perhaps.
I'll stick it in hers then.
All 3 are like hanging from her
Just the
glaive.
sad little like droopy sock.
Go ahead and roll a sleight of hand. See if it beats Martha's passive perception.
That's a mod 20.
It definitely passes mine. Not even a question.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So yeah, you successfully slip it in and are able to just kind of...
I'm just slipping back into the crowd and going with them.
So you guys eventually make your way towards the entrance of town hall, where you actually see a regal-looking man standing on the top steps, almost like waiting to be able to address the crowd, waiting for people to come in. And it seems that those in the inn, or I would say inns because there are multiple inns, seem to be some of the last people perhaps in the town to kind of really trickle in for the most part. And as you guys kind of join, he kind of holds up his hand so that the crowd hushes and he begins to address them. Citizens and visitors of Autumn's Refuge, it is with heavy heart that our mysterious benefactor every Yuletime has not provided the usual trinkets and toys to bring us joy and festivities this holiday season. We do not know what the cause is, as this has never happened in our town's history. The town council and I have decided that we must send an expedition up to Delectation, where we believe our mysterious benefactor may live, and to see what is causing this to happen. And we ask for volunteers.
He says volunteers, Martha's hand immediately goes in the air.
And then, like, you see a sobbing Jolly that's like, oh no! I'll do it!
And as Jolly raises her hand, he kind of has this look of, oh, sweet Jolly, will you be able to make this trip alright?
I'll be okay. I will hopefully bring back all the joy for everybody. And she'll, like, wipe her face. And she'll be like, we're good.
And the mayor kind of puts a hand over his heart like, I do not doubt, Jolly, that you will be able to do this for us. And it seems you already have a companion already. Is there anybody else that would like to volunteer for this expedition?
Mary has the telepathic feat, and basically what she's going to do is she's actually going to mentally talk to Leland, and she's going to say, like, hey, this would be a really good opportunity. Maybe we can find out what's been going on with the Coco.
You hear him respond in your own mind. Keep your mind to yourself. We can volunteer.
She's like, in your mind, she responds with, okay, just thought I was, it would be fun to chat. Mind to mind, I guess.
So Mary would be aware, like the telepathic feat. Normally, people can't respond to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So she was like, her eyes kind of widened when you responded, but then she kind of waved it off and was like, whatever, okay.
Leland raises his hand and just very simply is like, I will go.
Mary raises her hand as well.
We now have 4 volunteers to see if they can make the treacherous trip to Delectation. Are there any more?
Not wanting to call any attention to himself, Furball is not going to say anything during the assembly, but is going to try to approach him after.
And he does say, if need be, there is a reward of 50 gold pieces a person who makes this treacherous climb.
As soon as the reward's mentioned, Furball's going to say screw it and raises his hand.
Just had to have the right motivation.
He's looking for work. Bills don't pay themselves.
We now have 5 volunteers. If there is nobody else, then we will, and all of a sudden you hear from the front, it's almost kind of faint, and you hear, I will go. The mayor says, there are 6. Those who have volunteered, please come forward. The rest of the town be assured that we are doing everything we can. Do what you can to keep the spirit of Yuletime alive. Thank you. And as the crowds as the speech has been going on, the wind's kind of been picking up more and more and more. And so really by the end of it, I should say that instead of slowly dispersing as they may naturally do, as it picks up, they kind of quickly go, and they all kind of rush back into whatever form of shelter that they can find. So, and it is cold for you guys, for certain. And as you kind of approach, the mayor is kind of holding like this, like his thin jacket, and he sees you approaching. He's like, "Come inside, quick! It's freezing." And he says, like, just literally like teeth chattering, just. And so he ushers you into kind of the entrance hall of the town hall, and you kind of come in. And it's definitely warmer for sure, just with the wind chill factor being absent now. And he kind of sits there and he's starting to warm his hands, just kind of blowing into them and just kind of rubbing them like, oh, we've never had weather like this in ever. Oh. And he kind of looks at all of you. He's like, so you still up for the... And he kind of tries to shake off the cold and kind of regain some regalness to himself. Are you still prepared to make this small expedition up the mountainside?
Furball's gonna brush some snow off his shoulder and be like, it ain't nothing I haven't done before.
Jolly will do one of those, like when you want to say something, but you say it a lot louder than you intended to be. She'll be like, yes, I'm ready to go right now.
Leland, for his part, he looks around the room, and are there any stockings that are like displayed or like in here in the town hall? Not in the
Small entrance hall, if you will, that leads to what appears to be like a receptionist desk type thing, and then there's like about 3 or 4 doors that lead off this hall. There are no stockings in here.
Okay. In which case he would turn to Martha and be like, I don't know if I had gotten your name, but may I perhaps use one of those stockings? You will not get it back.
Oh, okay. She's gonna she'll pick up the first one, and it's gonna be like the sock she got for herself, and be like, oh, something in there.
And you look in, and there are a handmade bone dice in there.
Very strange. Very strange.
Jolly! It was your sock! It must have been yours! Here you go!
And Jolly will look at them and she'll be like, Okay. She's like, I guess I have to figure out what these are.
They're dice.
I don't feel like playing a game right now. But she'll, like, pocket them. She'll be like, maybe later.
Okay. She'll take a different stocking off the one that was in her room, and she'll give that one
Okay.
to this stranger.
Thank you so much. I am Ray Leland, and I wanted to stay warmer. As he pulls a dagger out, like a little knife from one of his pockets, he pulls it out and cuts the end of the sock off, and then pulls the tube over his trunk. A little muted. Much better.
Okay, Mary is dying of laughter at that point. Like she
He
was
looks
like,
ridiculous.
yeah, she's
Not a
just on the
traditional nose
floor at
warmer,
this
I'd say.
point.
So as you put this, as you do this, the mayor kind of nods, like understanding the practicality of it, even if it does look a little silly. Which in a town where Yuletime's the biggest thing, that's definitely not the silliest thing for sure that he's seen. He responds with, yes, you will need to bundle up. I don't know how many shops or in Autumn's Refuge that would be able to provide adequate protection from the cold. Unfortunately, there are some lighter stuff, but that was based off our weather for the past 200-300 years. But you are welcome to search those shops and perhaps some of the vendors. I know some of the vendors, they enjoy what they do enough that they find joy in continuing to sell even during Yule. So feel free to visit them. He will kind of turn and he kind of goes in like a half circle, and then he then starts to turn the other way. Oh yes, and he pulls out a sack of what appears to be coinage, and he starts to count it up, and he gives you each 25 gold pieces in advance. And he says, here to perhaps help with preparations, or at least enjoy a little bit of Yule. Perhaps get yourself some gifts, if you will, or to bundle up, whatever you wish to do. It's payment in advance, but you will receive the rest with immense gratitude as well upon your return. And then he's like, if you return. If anybody wants to roll perception to see if they heard what he mumbled under his breath.
Oh, perception.
I saw nothing. I got a nat 1.
21.
I got a 5.
Furball and Jolly, you actually do hear the phrase, if you come back.
And Jolly will just, go back into, her big, sobbing.
And the mayor kind of puts a hand on your shoulder, Jolly. He's like, there, Jolly. If anybody can make it there with the Yuletime spirit, it is you above all else. I believe in you.
And she'll wipe her face. She'll be like,
Person that volunteered.
He has been kind of quiet, and he also, you kind of don't really notice him until the mayor is passing out the coinage, and he gets to him last and starts giving him 25 gold as well.
And is it like a gnome?
It is a no.
Furball's keeping a close eye on him.
Okay.
Well, sir, mayor. Oh, wait, no, sorry, not mayor, the gnome. Mary's gonna go over there and she's gonna be like, oh, so what's your name, new companion?
My name's Trinket.
Trinket? Oh, that's such a lovely name.
Thanks, my mother gave it to me.
I'm sure she did. And, your name, and she turns over to Furball and, she goes, my name's Mary to both of you, and what's your name?
I go by Furball.
Oh, Furball. Nice to meet you.
He gestures to his thick fur coat and he says, as I obviously came by it naturally, it's my nickname growing up and I just stuck with it.
Hey, it's a good nickname. And I think I overheard a little bit. Your name is Jolly?
Yeah, that's me. How do you not remember me? You've been here every year of my life. I used to come to your concerts as a young kid. You're the reason that I sing, and you don't even know me. Why is this Yuletide? We just need to get stuff together and go, okay? Let's bring back all the good stuff.
For people who are listening to the podcast, I'm on push to talk, so you guys cannot hear. I am dying over here. Emily is dying. She's just out.
It's okay, I'm killing everybody. I'm so sorry.
No, this is hilarious. I think Mary's gonna be like, oh, wait, see, you're the one that I have the letter from a fan from. Jolly! Oh!
Yeah, and I made you a sweater.
Oh, it's a lovely sweater.
It's okay. My mom didn't like it, but I still sent it to you anyways. And it's okay if you don't like it.
Oh, no, I'm sure it's lovely. Jolly, I am so sorry. I did not remember. It has been a very long 3 seasons. I only ever come back for the winter. Some like to say that I melt from the ice caps.
I know. I tell kids that story.
Oh my goodness, you are amazing. We'll have to talk more about your singing career as we're heading up and traveling together, Jolly.
Okay.
I'd love to hear more about it.
So we are Mr. Trinket, Miss Jingleberry, Miss June, Miss Cariah, and Mr. Ball.
Yeah, it's just all one name, Furball.
Mr.
I don't have a
Furball.
surname.
Mr. Furball.
I never knew my father.
I knew my father, but he was Mr. Leland. You can just call me Leland.
Didn't know mine either, Furball.
I mean, my mother killed him in combat. It's bugbear tribes are very, very ferocious. That's why I decided to come live with the rest of the civilized world.
At least we'll have stories to tell on the way up the mountain.
So Jolly's like talking to herself as like the group is conversing, and you hear under her breath go, "I'm gonna get clothes, and I'm gonna get cookies because we need cookies." Okay, and then she's gonna turn to leave by herself.
Mary is actually going to come join you. She's like, actually, I could use some cocoa in a maybe a thermos. I don't know what the equivalent would be.
What is it? Like a
flask?
flask?
Yes. I'm gonna go. I'll come with you. Let's get a big flask of hot cocoa.
Get as much as you can carry. I'll have some transportation for us when you return. Some assistance.
Will do.
So are you guys shopping together, or?
Yeah, we'll go together.
Leland is ritual casting Tensor's floating disc.
Very cool.
Percentile.
Go ahead and roll a percentile.
54.
You are actually able to cast it. While that is happening, the four of you start to kind of shop, go around, and sure enough, some of the vendors are closed. A couple of shops are closed, but there are still quite a number open. And as you kind of interact with the vendors, the mayor does seem to be right in that most of them do seem to genuinely want to be open. They love it's kind of their way of interacting with the community, and that's what they enjoy doing. And they are giving things out at a very fair price.
How much cocoa can I get for 5 gold?
I'm sure you could get quite a bit. What are you storing 5 gold's worth of hot cocoa in?
Does this world have powdered cocoa, or is it all just liquid hot cocoa?
Liquid hot cocoa. in as many big flasks as I can get. And that's included in the price of the 5 gold. That's the cocoa budget.
All right. So I would imagine that you're gonna look for a container first, and then find somebody with hot cocoa. And as you go, there is a vendor. See, it appears to maybe be an elf. Something seems a little off about that, but not necessarily his demeanor per se. And as you kind of approach this maybe an elf, they definitely look a little pale, and you can't tell if it's from the cold or whatnot. I mean, he's got buffers. Like he's fairly sheltered for certain. But we'll say that he's actually in a shop, I should say. So you go into a shop and you see a variety of things, but one of the main things that they sell apparently is containers. There's water skins, there's wine skins, pots, pans, but you also see a nice collection of flasks that he has. And you see blue ones, green ones, red ones, and you are kind of looking, and he approaches you, and he's like, "Oh, are you interested in a flask, miss?"
I bit into a chocolate kiss at the wrong time. Mary's going to just like, yes, I am interested in getting a flask. I'm looking for one that can fill as much cocoa as possible.
Oh, I see. And how much are we talking about?
Well, my cocoa budget was about 5 gold, and that was including the flask and the cocoa. So I'm hoping to maybe stay in that range.
5 golds worth of hot cocoa.
Yes.
All right. And he kind of looks at the shelving a little bit, kind of strumming his chin a little bit, thinking very hard about this unusual request. And then he snaps his fingers like, "I got it." And he runs in the back, and he comes out with this. He comes out with this flask. It's a regular sized flask, and he says, "I've been saving this one for something special, and with such an unusual request during Yule, I figured I might as well present it to you." And he presents it to you, and it appears to be an engraven flask. It looks like there is a vibrant rose on it.
Okay, I hear that, and I think immediately back to the Harbinger's campaign and Val with his flask with the rose on it. So love that. But she's going to look at this and be like, "Oh my goodness, this is beautiful. How much is this?"
And as you're looking at it, as I said, it appears to be just a regular sized flask. Wouldn't necessarily appear to hold a whole lot. But upon your inquiry, he does say, that will be about, that will actually be about 10 gold.
Oh, 10 gold. What is the...
Yes.
It doesn't hold very much, it doesn't look like.
He kind of thinks about it, how to phrase what he's going to say next. It's a little bigger on the inside than on the outside.
Ooh, so would you say bottomless, or like a certain more bigger amount?
From what I can tell, yes.
To which? Bottomless?
Yes, it can hold however much you wish.
This is amazing. Thank you for bringing this out. I'm one of the people that are going on the expedition to find out what has happened to the little trinkets and everything. So.
Oh. Yes, I would imagine you would want something warm.
Yes.
I don't know how well it will hold temperature, but from the little I do know, it's a one-of-a-kind item in my shop. It should, at least for the most part, keep it at a good temperature. I would imagine.
Well, if that's the case, may I ask a request with this?
Sure. What do you have in mind?
10 gold is double the budget. It's a little expensive. And so I was wondering if I pay the 10 gold, would it be possible to get 6 little mini shot glasses or something that I can be able to use this with my companions?
Go ahead and roll a persuasion check.
That is a 28.
You know what? Sure. I will throw in some shot glasses in along with the price. And he pulls out pretty plain looking, pretty straightforward shot glasses. They're not anything special.
Wonderful. Your kindness knows no bounds. And she will take it and find a cocoa cellar to get as much cocoa as possible in there.
And as you leave the shop, he yells out, "Oh, and Happy Yule!"
Happy Yule to you as well!
All right. And then I imagine you immediately go and fill it with hot cocoa?
Yes, as much cocoa as possible.
So I will go ahead and just give you this. As you fill the hot cocoa in there, as you continue to pour out, at a certain point, you get the sensation that it will just simply now produce hot cocoa.
Okay.
You have an endless flasks of hot cocoa now.
This is amazing. Absolutely.
Now, how is it up to the quality that Leland was saying that the barmaid could make?
Probably not.
You don't know. You haven't tried it yet. You haven't made that comparison yet, but it is at the very least warm hot cocoa.
Okay, perfect. This will be great for our expedition.
That was going to be my next question, is how does it do at keeping it warm?
I guess we'll find out.
I hope it stays at least warm.
All right. What is everybody else doing?
I'm looking for a shop that has winter clothes.
This winter clothes in it?
Yeah.
Okay. You would know right off the bat that none of the regular permanent shops would have anything you're really looking for.
Yeah.
Not that they haven't in the past, but it's just they don't sell very well, so they don't keep them in stock. So you decide to try your look at with the actual visiting vendors. And you do find one vendor that appears to have some kind of winter clothing in stock. Like proper winter clothing in stock.
So Jolly will walk up. She'll be like, "Hi, I need a coat and gloves and probably boots and maybe a hat."
And the lady, which it appears to be a tiefling lady, and a scarf and some wool socks as well, I would imagine.
Probably.
Yes, you're not the only one that's come by. It's been a great year for us.
I'm so happy for you.
Unfortunately, we only have this in stock, and there appears to be a bright lime green winter coat with a bright red, pink, and white striped scarf. The hat is bright red. The pants, unfortunately, do not match the jacket. The boots, though, are actually quite nice.
If we put this all together, how much for this outfit?
Oh, yes, that will be, this will be about, 7 gold.
And she'll be like, "Okay, I'm gonna need it where I'm going anyways." And she'll pull it out from the money that the mayor gave her.
Yeah.
And then hand it.
And as you're handing it, she quickly snatches it, Perfect. Thank you. Thank you for your business and enjoy the merchandise. And she hands you the clothing. And as she does so, she's like, well, now I'm out of stock. I'm going to celebrate Yule. And she like throws down the little shutter door thing and she like slams it shut. But then it opens up again and then a hand reaches over, puts a little closed sign, sticky note on the outside and then shuts it again.
So, like, before she leaves, like, she'll take the clothes and then she'll slowly put, like, all the pieces on of this outfit.
Mm-hmm.
So that way she's not freezing.
Yeah.
And then she's gonna go see if she can find a bakery that has, like, cookies. Like a bakery or, like, a vendor selling, like, baked goods.
And luckily for you, the clothing is quite warm. So you definitely got that going for you. Now, that doesn't mean it's still not cold outside, but it's definitely a lot more bearable. So, and you're going to go off and get some cookies?
When she goes to the bakery, can Mary come join her?
Yeah, absolutely.
Is Martha going to be there as well?
Martha will not be at the bakery. She will be trying to find some clothes, but that sounds like they might be all gone.
You are welcome to perhaps maybe roll an investigation check to see if you can find something or anything.
Okay.
Just like the nightlight in this atrocious outfit.
4.
4. Yes, you do not seem to be having any luck. The couple of vendors you talked to had pointed to the tieflings cart stall thing that she had going on, and as you approach, you see a little close sign outside of it.
Darn. Well, she goes and starts looking for like any healing potions or anything that might be needed on an adventure.
Yeah, you do find one vendor that provides potions.
Cool. Do they have a potion that can warm you up?
Well, let's see here now, shall we?
As Martha waits while they're looking around for stuff, she's like looking at all the Yule ball, whatever, decorations.
Yeah, there definitely seems to be some. However, it's not as festive as, like, it's definitely festive, but not. It's kind of under the expectation that you kind of had for the town. So, but you wonder if it might be because of the recent weather. An elderly gentleman turns to you and says, "Oh yes, I am so sorry for the moment there. What can I do for you?"
Do you have potions that can warm you up, or potions that can heal you?
Oh, yes, I do have some of those. You said healing potion?
Oh yes, that's what they're called. Yeah, that.
Yes, I do have a couple in stock. They each go for 10 gold apiece.
Get 2 of them.
2 of them. Okay. And he kind of has a little notepad out, and he's kind of writing it down. And he's almost as if he's like taking your order at a restaurant. And he says, and anything else? You mentioned something about fire, or?
It's just really cold outside, so I just wondered if you have a potion that, could keep you warm. I don't know if a thing like that exists. I don't know.
Oh, yes. Yes, I suppose that makes sense. Yes. Let me see what if you don't mind waiting a sec, maybe I can concoct something up for you. I am an alchemist by trade, and I still have some decent spare ingredients around. Go ahead and roll me 2d12.
2d12, okay. Eight.
All right. And what was the other one?
Oh, it was a total of 8. It was 5 and 3.
Oh, 5 and 3. Okay, sorry. My apologies.
No, that's not bad.
All right. He hands you a small bottle that has it's a bright yellow and opaque color, and it seems to randomly bubble at random times. Which you're not quite sure how it's doing that since the bottle is sealed, but it will randomly just kind of bubble and fizz on the inside. And as he's concocting it, I will say you do catch a whiff of what it smells like. Honestly, it smells like something you shouldn't drink.
Oh.
But he hands it to you and puts a stopper in it. He's like, yes, here you go. This should accomplish what you're aiming for. Yes. And he actually seems quite pleased with himself.
Does the smell indicate I shouldn't drink this? Is it gonna hurt me?
Out of character, it honestly smells like a bunch of it smells like an assortment of chemicals. Like from a cleaning closet or something like that.
Oh, you did such a lovely... This looks great.
Thank you.
Any side effects?
And he kind of thinks about it for a second. Nothing serious, no.
Oh, okay. Just put it in her bag.
Oh, that would be 5 gold.
Pays him 5 gold.
Yes, it's not my best work, I will admit it. Plus, it's Yule time, so slight discount.
Oh, yes. Happy Yule time. Yes.
Oh, thank you. You as well. You as well. Anything else I can do for you, though?
Oh, that'll be it. Thank you.
Thank you for being my only customer for today.
Oh, you don't have any other customers?
No, you're the first one.
Oh.
And he just seems very happy that you have come in, acquired, and have trusted his expertise.
Oh, she'll take off her last stocking. It's the white one. She'll put 5 gold in it and hang it on the edge of his desk. I don't know what it is. Counter.
He gets teary-eyed with that, as he says, Thank you.
I'll make sure to tell other people to stop by. Of course, I don't know if they'll trust me. I'm new, but yeah.
Thank you. And he's like, I better make some more in case they come, And he says, thank you, and he turns around and he starts doing all sorts of he's just going nuts back there, almost like a cartoon mad scientist type thing. But he's being really happy about it.
Oh, that's so cute.
You're not quite sure what to make of it because he's just kind of going.
Well, Martha will go out. She'll spend the rest of the time until people meet up, being like, hey, you guys should check out this potion guy. He's super cool. He made me a specialized one, and try to bribe people to go with a gold coin.
Oh, if you're actually gonna willingly bribe people to go, then I go ahead and roll a persuasion with advantage.
Okay. That would be... Wait, what's my persuasion? It's pretty good. Okay, actually, that's not too bad. 12.
12? You get a few people... They make some kind of remark that they've seen this vendor before. He comes every Yule time. And they say something like, oh, we've been before, or I'm not in the need of potions, or a lot of that. But you do get 1 or 2 people that at least tell you that they'll see if they can swing by perhaps during their while they're traversing across town during Yule time.
Cool. How much gold would I have spent bribing people?
One didn't take any gold, and then one person did. So out of the 2 people, one took a gold coin and one denied it, saying that they would check it out.
Cool. Thank you.
All right. Furball, are we doing anything?
Furball's just going to be following the crew around and grabbing basic essentials. Due to his traveling around in the area quite a bit and neighboring areas, I would assume he'd have a decent coat already, so he's just grabbing like supplies and stuff like that.
Yeah, I would say that you know where to go for that. You know where the general store is, which you would get a lot of it at. You also know of, you would even know of a couple of vendors that usually come to Autumn's Refuge during Yule. So I would say that you're able to get everything, and obviously, like with most other places, you get it at a pretty fair price. I believe Jolly and Mary wanted to get some cookies.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you enter the bakery, and it is run by a halfling couple who warmly greet you as you enter.
And Jolly will walk in and she'll be like, "Hi, do you have any ginger snaps?"
Yeah. And the woman, yes, we do. Are you okay, Jolly?
I'm okay. We're okay.
It was very brave of you to volunteer to try to go up to delectation.
Thank you.
We'll get you some ginger snaps for you.
Okay.
Mary will follow her.
Yeah, so the halfling woman goes and starts collecting a number of ginger snaps for you, and then the husband turns to Mary and says, "What can I do for you for?"
Can I double her amount of ginger snaps?
Oh, you're gonna clear us out, which, depending on it, is both good and bad. But during Yule time, I see it as good. So yes, you absolutely may. And he kind of like turns his head. Honey, double it. Okay. She has like practically almost like 24 ginger snap cookies, like in this like large container. And they put it down, and as they start ringing it up, the woman looks at you, Jolly. You only need to pay for 1 dozen.
How much is
The other dozen's on the house.
How much is the 1 dozen though?
It's about 5 silver.
Can I pay it for Jolly?
You definitely can, unless Jolly says otherwise.
No,
Okay.
I don't see
that. You pay 5 silver for essentially 2 dozen half off.
Which is pretty great.
We hope it helps getting up to delectation.
Me too. These cookies always remind me of home, so hopefully they'll help me through.
Mm-hmm.
As we head out of the store, and I'm assuming Jolly has all the cookies, Mary is going to turn to Jolly and she's going to say, "Jolly, I know this is a hard time for you, and I would like to formally apologize for not remembering you. I'm sorry about that. It has been quite the year, and I'm hoping we could have a fresh start."
I like that a lot.
Okay. Wonderful. Well, maybe we can each pull out a ginger snap, and Mary kind of clinks them together a little bit, and she's like, "It's a new friendship."
Yeah. And Jolly will join in and take a bite.
Alrighty.
So as you guys continue to shop around, the weather surprisingly continues to pick up. Like, while the town's not used to a blizzard, this is starting to kind of get legitly borderline blizzard. Definitely some very dark clouds, and the visibility is kind of dropping a little bit. It's I wouldn't say it's quite dangerous yet, but you definitely do notice it.
So as we're walking, Jolly will say to Mary, "We need to get going soon. So we'll go back to wherever everybody's supposed to meet up."
Yeah, and Mary's going to respond with, "I agree. Leland's got the traveling for us." And actually she's going to telepathically message to Leland, and she's going to say, "Leland, have you gotten the transportation put together?"
Leland cannot respond. His telepathy is shorter range than yours is.
And then she's going to say, I'm going to assume that's a yes. So we're going to head on over. We've got ginger snaps and cocoa. So the essentials.
Yes. And this horrible outfit that I have on. And she'll just keep walking as she holds these ginger snaps.
Mary does not make a comment on her outfit.
All right. Would anybody else like to do anything shopping-wise before heading off?
I'm just going to say that while they're all bringing over ginger snaps and hot cocoa and stuff, Furball is at the meeting place with a couple sacks of, good hearty provisions.
Actual survival things.
So you all are able to make it to the meeting place.
By now, Leland has completed his casting, and you can see his bags as he has set them down, and they seem to be just floating in midair.
Leland, are you going to levitate all of us? With a spell?
Ooh, wish I could. That's a little beyond me, but I can levitate some of our things. Maybe one person could fit.
Well, that's still really nice. And she kind of nudges Furball a little bit. That way you won't have to shoulder all those bags you've just picked up.
I mean, I'm definitely not riding on that thing, but I'm more than happy to put some bags on it.
Well, yeah, that's what I meant.
Jolly kind of looks over at Trinket as maybe you could ride that.
Actually, Trinket is not there.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. Trinket is not there. He's the only one not there yet.
Should we wait for Trinket?
I say we go.
Well, we could take 5 minutes just to see if Trinket's around.
I don't know if we want to wait for the storm to pick up more. We should probably get heading out.
Wait, actually, can I message Trinket telepathically?
Are they within 60 feet?
Yeah, that is the question. Are they within 60 feet?
I will say that your guys' meeting place is just kind of just north of the town center, where most of the shopping would have been occurred that way. It would have been easy to find. So I would say that I'll say for practical purposes that he's able to hear your message.
I'm gonna say, Trinket, just FYI, we're all at the meeting place right now, so if you could come meet us here within the next 5 minutes, and then we'll head on out. If not, then we'll assume something bad has happened.
You get a response. Just another couple minutes. Grabbing a couple more things.
Oh, dang. Okay. All right. We'll wait just a few more minutes.
Thank you. And you hear a click.
Snapped the old telly down.
So you guys wait for a few more minutes, and just when you're thinking, I thought he only said a few minutes, and sure enough, Trinket comes along, and he's got, this, bag on his back, and it's, bulging with items.
Hey, Trinket, you want to ride the cool thing? Magic-y.
He's like, oh, and then he kind of stops and is like, no, I'm good, and he kind of, turns away from it.
All right then. This is everybody. We have everything.
Mm-hmm.
Then let's get moving.
Onward.